Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another edition of Where I Went Wrong. And in this edition of Where I Went Wrong, I'll be doing Where I Went Wrong, UFC Fight Night, Lews versus Spivac. So for this card, I went 73, 7 of 10, 70%. Well, it was 11 fights, so 7 of 11. But at the end of the day, people was like, oh, I'm going to do it exactly correct, like 7 11. So I've got 7 right, 3 wrong, and 1. So 7 divided by 11, or 11 divided by 7, blah, blah, blah. But a draw is a draw, so I just factor out because it's not a win for me, it's not a loss for me. Let's do win loss ratio. That's what I'm talking about. Win L ratio. It ain't win loss draw ratios. Win loss ratio, or it's not wins to overall ratios. Wins to loss ratio. So wins to loss ratio 70%. And yeah, with this one I went 70%. It was 3 L's. And let's talk about where I went wrong. Let's talk about these 3 L's. So I think the first loss was Yusaku Kinoshita versus Adam Fugit. And with this one, I kind of leaned too much into his perspective, and I look at his skills, look at his power, and I was really like looking at seeing superstar potential. Well, not no superstar potential. I'm not saying superstar potential either, but I wasn't saying Fugit is a guy that like could have great longevity in UFC. He was like a guy that seemed like he had all the things. I mean, like he had everything he needed, I guess, to be in the UFC on a broad sense. But on a deeper sense, it seemed like he was just lacking that extra edge. Yeah, he was lacking. He had all he needed, but lacked that edge. And I feel like Kinoshita had that edge, but apparently he had not been tested too much and maybe jumped the gun a little too much. And I definitely, despite all this one, I underestimated Fugit. I could look into him a little bit more, but I just kind of looked on his track record of, no, he had got chin several times, like twice times. Looked okay till he got chin, but like chin, like Kinoshita had the power, the speed, the athleticism. It was pretty sharp. And I feel like he could touch him, but he took his shot. Yes, he buckled a little bit, but he came back, and it was Kinoshita who could not take his power, take his damage, and he ended up wilting, and Fugit put it on him. So I guess I don't know where I went wrong with this. I'm not gonna say look at this and when I see a real good looking prospect or a promising prospect going against a guy that looked like like he kind of fall into the journeyman carriage category and not really looking like there's no real ceiling to him, no real high ceiling to him, like his ceiling is very low, like he already kind of at his peak. I think more times than not, like 9 times out of 10 or 99 times out of 100, or I'm gonna say probably like 80 times out of 100. Well, let me just say 9 times out of 10. As is better. I don't need to get too deep. 9 times out of 10, the guy that's Kinoshita in the case is going to win. So there's no need to really go back in there. If the percent is 90%, don't need to. If the formula is 90%, no need to change it up. If it's like 50, 40, matter of fact, yeah, 50 or 40, below 60, then yeah, like I need to switch that up. But as far as this, like 9 times out of 10, that shot's going in. But going forward, what I can learn is about the specific individuals involved. Is that Fugit, depending on the matchup, I gotta look into it further. Like I can't just say, oh, this guy such a promising prospect. I also gotta look at the prospect he's fighting, like really look more in depth and not look at his surface level as much. So Fugit, like I said in my community post, like he has a pulse. He's not just a dead man out there. He has a pulse, and you gotta factor that in. Like he was just a dead man out there, like one of these guys that seemingly have all the skills, but just gonna be like one of those guys that have talent, but they can't get a win in UFC. Yeah, he's not one of those guys. Well, at least he was able to get a win. But how much further can he go? He definitely has a world-round skill set. But yeah, so I just got when looking at Fugit further, I got to look deeper into both guys. Is all just further into, and as simple as that sound, or as broad or that confusing that sound, all it means is like I still am not too sure, but I know he's a great striker, or not great striker. He's okay, he's a decent enough striker. With both losses, I feel like have come by him getting chinned. Yeah, so I don't know. You want to say about that way, like it still seemed like that shot should have went in, because yeah, a guy with power that could touch his chin, got pretty sharp hands, and it's not like Fugit has amazing defense, but like again, the shot don't always go in. Like 90% of the time, 90% of the times that shot will go in. Not saying in this fight we play back 90% of the time it will go in. But I feel like 50% at most this shot, like that shot will go in. I mean, I didn't go average 50% that shot will go in. But yeah. I'm just gonna write that down as far as just need to look more into him, go into the next matchup, like really study, look at it further, just give it further look, depending on who they match him with next. And also, they did give him in his first fight in UFC, did give him another promising prospect who I think is older and closer to his prime, versus Kinoshita, who's still very green and was getting his first taste of like this level of seeing. Like he had one fight on the contender series, but that don't really count. And yeah, Kinoshita on his side, it could be a very dark look for him. It could be a case where he just one of these guys that he kind of got in UFC too soon, probably gonna make 2 losses, and then probably get out of the UFC, or be the worst case, be like they try to keep him around the UFC and just try to have him all straight wins and losses, and he's been one of those guys that like kind of like sits at the bottom of the division. This is a tester, a low level gate guardian, which would be worse for you than just getting cut and developing, then coming back maybe when you're 30 or something, and now you've gotten better, or maybe come back 27, 28. Who knows? But get that time to develop so that you can have better success in UFC. But either way, I don't know. Based on that loss, I feel like it's better for him to just get out of the UFC as quick as possible and to go back to develop. Fuga ain't a bad fighter, but losing to Fuga is definitely a sign that, like, yeah, I'm like nowhere near where I need to be if I want to really live and thrive in this UFC, thrive in this division. So Kinoshita got to do some soul searching. All right, second L was Daum Jung versus Devin Clark. And I think with this one here, I didn't see like Devin Clark had that pattern where he will come out, wrestle heavy, maybe strike heavy, and just really blow himself out and then get, proceed to have like be gassed and just get picked apart. Stiff striking, stiff defense, but big, strong, could take you down, but can't really have like that good control on the ground. Like he could take you down, hold on to you, but his jiu-jitsu really wasn't there. His control on the ground wasn't. His riding wasn't really that great. But yeah, basically he can be a low-level blanket. He has pretty decent wrestling, pretty solid strength, but really he all amounted to like a low-level blanket. He's not the guy that's going to take you down and ground and pound you and just transition on you like butter and beat you up for rounds. He's not the guy that's going to smartly just latch onto you and just be able to drain minutes of the clock. He's the guy that's going to get a takedown, poorly hold it, maybe take a minute off, a minute, 20 seconds off. Most likely, probably get a takedown for 20 seconds and you'll be back up. And then he kind of hold you against the cage type guy. For the most part, that's been how he has been against guys that are, decent. Maybe the lower level guys, he put them away, but decent people, like that's about all he amounted to as far as beating those guys. Then against the better guys, he could take you down for a little bit, wear himself out, and then get put away. But I think with this one, Daum Jung was a slower fighter. Clark was faster, which is not typical of him. And Jung does have a tendency not to be the highest output fighter. He has gotten people out quick. Like he got Nchukwi, not Nchukwi. No, it's Nchukwu. Tafon Nchukwu. No, I don't know. It's too many Nchukwus in that division. Like it's like, what's his name? Kennedy Nzechukwu. Yeah, that's the guy. And he also got what's his name? Black dude with like a Spanish last name. He got him out quick. So, but for the most part, like if I do stand longer, he does, slow output does start to come out, and that's what's the path for Devin Clark. But even then, I can't say, Devin Clark was such a good pick or such a sleeper pick, or even knowing that I would have been picked. But I think the thing is, knowing Daum Jung's weaknesses and the fact that he was coming off a brutal loss, maybe the confidence shouldn't have been high, it should have been average, maybe low. But I can't feel too bad about picking Daum Jung, like flat out. I can make me feel bad about picking Daum Jung in that one, knowing both of their careers and stuff. But Daum Jung seemingly had pretty solid wrestling defense. And his wrestling defense held up in this fight, but it was more so his output and lack of speed and lack of urgency that cost him in this one more than anything. And I think Devin Clark showed improvements as well, so no one just say, it's because this and that. Devin Clark showed improvements. His striking wasn't as stiff as it usually is, so he's making improvements, so that's good for him. I don't know how good, but any improvements is some improvement, and that's good for him. And any improvement is good. Slow and steady, build it up, inch by inch. But yeah, but going forward, Daum Jung definitely gonna make me raise the eyebrow with him going forward. Like depending on who they match him up with, he can be a tough matchup for a lot of people. Like I say, he's big, he's strong, he's not easy to wrestle at all. He got power, but that lack of initiative a lot of times can cause him to lose some fights. So it's gonna be like, more than anything, it's probably maybe like this hold the funds when you're dealing with Daum Jung. Like, I like him, but I can't trust him. Let me hold the funds, or let me reconsider this pick. Let me lower this confidence, or let me go. Maybe this guy could beat him. But yeah, definitely, especially back-to-back L's, is making me like definitely hold the funds, and really more so shift to like, maybe this guy could be maybe that guy. Like looking at future matchups to cash against him is maybe the thing, or maybe fight with a decision fighter. Maybe decision gonna be more so where the money gonna be. But anyway. Clark, definitely impressed with him. I still don't see him being no guy that's gonna really rise up the rankings. I feel like he's probably gonna fall into a guy that's gonna be used to build back up guys that are, going on the path to challenge for titles. And that's really kind of where he was He lost to like what? Anthony Smith went on to challenge for title, or was that after? That was after he lost the title shot, and then was trying to get back to a second title shot, which he never got to. That was like his first fight after the loss to John Jones, I think, or was it Gustafsson? It was one of those fights. It was very shortly after Jones beat Smith, so that was very much on his rebound. He lost to Jan Blachowicz, who went on to be the champion. He lost to what's his face? Alexander Rakic, who was looking like probably one of the better fighters in the light heavyweight division. Now we kind of saying, where does he fit in the picture? Where does he fit in the mix? At first, but he was looking at the time was like a very bright prospect, and that was actually a low-key competitive fight at points. So I guess he's gonna fall into guys that can actually rise up the rankings. He'll lose to those guys, but Dong Jung, like now I'm really considering like Jung ain't a guy that's gonna rise up the rankings. If I had to say it right now, Dong Jung ain't gonna rise up the rankings. He ain't gonna be a guy in the title picture. He's not. But guys that could potentially be in the title picture, that had that talent to be there, that's where you're gonna say, I'm gonna pick against Devin Clark. But outside that, kind of gonna be hard to pick against Devin Clark. And he did have that one slip. I think he got knocked out by that bum. But I don't know what that was definitely in UFC. So, but for the most part, outside of maybe this or that, if they ain't in the light heavyweight division challenge for or with the potential to be in that picture to challenge for a belt or be like top 5 or top 10 or something. But with the prospective of actually climbing the ranking and fighting for a title or challenge for a title or be number 1 contender, then Clark, for the most part, going to win these matchups against them. So then you also got those styles in it. So that's also another factor. But Jung right now got me like saying, switching sides. Clark has me reevaluating like where he truly stands in the weight class. That's going forward, both of those two. And then third fight, Devin Clark. Third fight, Derek Lewis, and final fight, Derek Lewis versus Sergey Spivak. And my logic with this one is like, I ain't still gonna say flawed logic, but more so I'm gonna take this as a lesson and say like it was a flawed pick necessarily. Initially, I did pick Sergey Spivak, but hey, that's in the past now. I picked him. I revised the pick because I was really thought about saying Derek Lewis only really loses to strikers outside of like Daniel Cormier. He only loses to strikers. Other people, they try to take him down and control him for a couple rounds. Then eventually he just stands up, knocks him out. Or he stands up and at points and he lands big shots and he steals the decision or he knocks him out. So Derek Lewis don't lose decisions. And it seemed like Spivak really only recently started to develop that finishing ability more so than anything. Like he was I don't know, he been stopping those guys, but Derek Lewis was supposed to be at a higher level. But I think it's a combination of Spivak definitely elevated. Still don't think Spivak is no guy that's gonna challenge for no title. I don't think. Or really rise to that rank. I feel like he's gonna be like Devin Clark in a sense. Well, he already better than Devin Clark by beating Derek Lewis. But similar situation where those guys that can truly fight for the belt, win the belt, the guys that, in that picture, in that talk will beat him. But you're not in that picture, he'll beat you. And especially with light heavyweights still not really know how to wrestle or grapple, I feel like he becomes even more of a problem. But yeah, Spivak definitely rise in the ranking. He definitely proved me wrong. And I feel like Derek Lewis now, you got a question like he's on the downtrend. So will they continue to match him with guys that actually can, the top guys? Are they going to give him some easy fights? Or is there any easy fights? We don't know. But and is he himself going to want to fight any longer? We knowing that my best days are behind me now. But definitely, I think it's at a point now where Derek Lewis is, being a guy that's, always near a title shot is not gonna be no more. You can say, oh, Derek Lewis was this, that, but Derek Lewis, when he was winning, he was actually not ever too far from a title shot. He actually didn't suffer too many L's like that. He was always near a title shot. He legitimately got a win against not legitimately got a win. He legitimately got a title shot against Daniel Cormier. There was no real fluke behind that, and he legitimately got that second fight title shot or that interim title shot against Cyril Gane. So the man was legit, but like anything, you start to fade and you don't evolve, you're gonna get passed on. Like he tried to lose some weight, try to do this, try to do that, but clearly grappling needs some more improvement. And that his grappling he got away with for so many years is just standing up and pushing people. And just that Derek Lewis grappling, it has to change, has to evolve because he's getting older. These guys are younger than him. These guys in their prime. He's like I said, getting near 40. Even though at heavyweight you got a little bit more longevity, nonetheless you're not fully rounded out, you will get exploited. And now he got exploited. Not the last 2 fights, he got exploited this fight in the grappling. So Spivak definitely showed improvement to be able to get these finishes now. And Lewis just showing not enough evolution. But yeah, going forward, Lewis against any like real relevant competition, I might have to fade him, pick against him. Spivak, probably gonna pick him next unless like they try to jump him up to those people that's really challenging for titles. I don't think I'm not picking. Well, he already beat Tai Tuivasa, so I'm Pavlovich obviously would dog my foot at this point. Yes, I'm not gonna go through the whole process of everybody. I feel like I beat everybody that I think he beats, but I think I got a good clear picture of who he beats and who he don't beat. A good clear picture. And right now I feel like he beats like 80% of the division because when I'm looking at the bottom, that whole bottom like garbage. Top, it's not that big of many people in the top, but I feel like everyone that's truly at the top and relevant right now, I think they beat him. I said maybe like Volkov, that might be a one. Volkov and Jairzinho might be people he can potentially beat, but I'm still on the fence about if he would beat them. I think more so I'm still probably leaning those guys to beat him right now. But they both have been wrestled up at least once. And I think both times was about Curtis Blade. But yeah, I'm already beyond. I'm talking about future stuff. But that's the whole card right there. Again, went 7-3, 7 of 10, or you can say 7-11. Win-L ratio 70%. So 7 to 3 losses, 7 wins to 3 losses. And that's the video. Go and look to improve and keep reevaluating, taking it card by card, and only looking to get better, evolve, and take it intel what I can take it. And yeah, take these L's in stride and don't take them as an L, but take them as a lesson. So that's the video. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and come back for more videos. Peace.